Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to the first episode of what's going to be a weekly video series where I show you how to peek through bullet holes on each different map in Rainbow Six. Starting off this video on Favela. I chose this map because it's the easiest map to introduce people to these sorts of peaks because there's so many different places we can go from. So get it started. Alright y'all, so the way I have this set up is I'm going to go through the 3 different spawn points on the map, starting with the market spawn for Favela, and work my way through the different peaks you can do for those specific spawns. So this first one's going to be in Biker's Garage. You come over here to the, Biker's Bedroom. You come over here to the big soft wall, and about, I'd say, a quarter of the way through the wall, you're going to make yourself a line of 3 holes side by side using your revolver. And when you look through it, you should be able to, on the far left, see the edge of the soccer goal. And then if you can roll to the right, there's these windows and this poster of a woman over here. So this is going to be where attackers come from when they walk down this alleyway over here. And they'll run across, and that's when you can shoot them. From outside, it's mostly invisible. So, alright. So the second direction attackers can walk from the market spawn is around this white van over here to the southwest. And the way you can be looking at over this one is you're going to crouch beneath this candle shelf, look southwest, and make yourself a hole pointed a little bit downwards, about 5 or 6 bullets. And what really helps is breaking the first layer of the wall. So you can do that just by sinking a couple shots into this metal post here. And when you look out, you should be able to see the front part of the van and this little reflective puddle out here. So what this looks like from outside without the ACOG, and then with the ACOG you can see a little bit of a dot, but for the most part it's not visible. Alright, so this last peak for the market spawn is a little bit tricky. It's going to be over here at the second floor landing of on stairs. You're going to crouch down, look upwards at about a 45-degree angle, and sink about 6 shots into it. It's a lot easier, just like the other one, if you break the first layer by shooting this wooden bar here. And so when you look up, this is where the attackers will be crossing from. I'll show you what it looks like from outside. So like I said, this one's a little bit tricky because as they come from this this choke point, they usually don't stop here, so you only see them for a split second. But if you time it right, you can sink a couple body shots into somebody and hurt them. You won't often get kills, but you will get crucial damage on the enemies. So this is what it looks like from outside. It's visible but pretty inconspicuous. Just don't do it more than once. Alright, so the second set of peaks I'm going to be showing y'all are going to be looking out over to the different areas you can come from rooftop spawns. So the very first one I'm going to show you guys is going to be in the football apartment. You come over to the left panel of the big soft wall, and you crouch down beneath this football picture frame, and you're going to put a line of 3 bullets pointed a little bit downwards because the walkway is a little bit below you. And you look out, and your visual cues are going to be this trash can fire, and there's a potted plant right here. So this walkway is going to be where they're coming from for this spawn. So this peak actually has a second spot you can do it from if you come down into the biker's apartments. And beneath this motorbike picture frame, you want to crouch down and look dead ahead this time, and shoot yourself a hole. And you should be able to see the same trash can fire and the potted plant. And then that is the walkway they come walking down. Alright, so this is what these 2 spots are going to look like from outside. The one in football at nighttime is a little bit visible because of the lights on inside. However, the one in Biker's apartment is almost completely invisible, especially if you don't have an ACOG. Alright, so the second peak for rooftop spawn is going to be where the attackers come up from the ladder. And so, I'm sure you know that the ladder is a death trap, and you're usually dead if you climb up it anyways. But I did still think this was important to show you guys. So you come over to the door at the top of on stairs, and you look over on the left side. If you shoot a bullet hole in between these two panels here, be careful you don't actually shoot two bullets into the same panel, because it does break that board. But if you do it halfway between, it won't break it. So you look out over to your left, you should be able to see this big photo of a man, and you're a little bit too far to the left in this case, so come up, and this little nook right here is where they'll be coming up from, just to the left of this window. Alright, so I'll show you what this looks like from the top of the ladder. If you look out over to this door, you can't see it at all whatsoever if you're not aiming at it. If you zoom in, you can just barely see the holes that were made. This one is actually probably the hardest to spot out of all the peaks. Alright, so this third and final peak for the rooftop spawn, I made the hole a little bit too low, but if you come over here into the laundry room, and on the big soft wall with the chemical shelves, if you come over and crouch down and make yourself a hole pointing out to the northeast, and you peek through it, you should be able to see the walkway that attackers walk from when leaving the rooftop spawn. Alright, so this spot's particularly useful for whenever you're trying to defend the armory. Oftentimes attackers will just come running through here without ever looking at this area. So this hole is usually hard to see. I've made the hole a little bit too big, but if you make it the right size, it is actually very hard to see. Alright, so there's also a fourth spot you can come from on rooftops. If you come over here all the way to the south, come down these stairs. There's actually not anywhere you can really peek this spot from, but luckily no one ever comes this way, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Alright, so now we're moving on to the different areas attackers come from for schoolyard spawns. So if you come over here into the packaging room, it's where the first peak is going to be on the north wall. So you come over to the far left, and you crouch down and look a little bit to the left and a little bit down. And you'll be able to see the staircase that attackers come up from the spawn, so their heads will be coming up from right there. Alright, so what this one looks like from outside as the attackers come walking up this staircase. They're dead immediately. And at nighttime this is more visible because of the lights on the inside, but during the daytime it is practically invisible. This spot's also useful for when people are just rotating around out here in general, just walking across these walkways. It could be a good spot to hold an angle if you know, for instance, somebody's out here. Alright, so this second spot for the school spawn is a little bit tricky. You come over here into the biker's garage, and on the garage door itself, I'm going to crouch down and lean to the right, and just make your holes pointing about 45 degrees to the left. And you should be able to see the little sloped staircase that the attackers come from. Alright, so this is what it looked like from the outside if you were an attacker. The attackers come down, they shoot the camera, they look over here, and the hole is not really visible from here. Usually people check for spawn peaks on the spot, on the door or from the sides of these, or maybe from up here. But surprisingly, this spot here works out pretty well. Right, so this third and final spot for the school spawn has limited usefulness because it's not a very popular area for attackers to walk through, and oftentimes you don't have enough time to get a shot in. But so the bullet hole is going to be on this window in the football bedroom. If you look directly above the X and make your hole, and you come up and look up, and up here is going to be the walkway that they're coming from. The visual cue is going to be this little red wall right here. This is where the attackers come walking through, and you should be able to see them right here if they stop and check for peaks. Alright, so this is the school alley spawn back here. They come up these stairs, and generally they should look left or to the right over here to check this window for peaks, which should give you enough time to shoot them through the bullet hole that you've made. Sometimes though they just walk right past and you don't really get much of a chance to shoot them. Alright, so now we're moving on to some miscellaneous spots I found that could be useful. They don't look out over spawns, but they do give you angles on popular locations for attackers to siege from. So this first one's going to be in Meth Lab, and it looks out to the south to the water tower platform out here. And so the visual cue for you is going to be this this red barricade or barrier, and of course the water tower itself. Alright, so alternatively, you can come upstairs to the packaging room to look out to the water tower. Ignore this hole, I messed up the first time, but you come over here and you make about 3 bullet holes looking downwards at an angle, and you should be able to see the water tower out there, and the platform has the same visual cues as the last one. This one, of course, so you can see the checkered flooring, but there's also the red barrier and the blue water tank. So what this one looks like from outside, the one in Meth Lab is pretty inconspicuous. You can't really see much even at nighttime. The one up in Packaging Room, though, Packaging Room has brighter lights, and so you are able to see this hole here decently clearly, but if you don't know what to expect, you're not going to be able to see it, and of course just ignore that spot there. So a second spot you can use to look outside and hold angles is going to be in Aunt's apartment in the kitchen. You come over here to this soft wall and you look dead ahead from the left side, and you make yourself 3 holes. When you look out, you can see the walkway that has the wall leading into the biker's apartment, as well as you can see through the door leading into the laundry room. So these 2 angles are good because one, you can protect the outer wall of biker's apartment from being breached, and you can also look into the laundry room and watch as people try to take control of it. You can hit them as they hold angles into the armory. So from outside, this one's not too easy to spot. Of course, when you're over here, holding angles looking into the armory, you're not going to think to look over to the left, just in case someone's peeking you from over there. So a third spot for looking outside that doesn't have a crazy amount of usefulness, but if you do come over here while you're defending the football apartments, and just put a bullet hole right here during the prep phase, it's going to be to the right of the X in the middle of this board. If you just come over here and do it during prep phase, when you think someone's about to be breaching, you come over here and you can look out at this wall and shoot any thermite who thinks he's about to make a big fucking hole. You can also use it to look towards the staircase and the other door that looks into the other side of football apartments. Now this one from outside is super hard to spot. If you do even see it, it's just a bullet hole in a barricade, you don't think anything of it. Alright, so what I find to be the most useful of the peaks you can use is going to be here in Aunt's bedroom. It's particularly useful for defending the football apartments, whether it be for secure area or for bomb. So what you want to do is you come in here, and underneath this shelf with the bowls on it, directly beneath, you want to make yourself 3 holes with your revolver. And when you look through it, you can see the door leading into the weed room. It's good for holding an angle, of course, on the door, but it also helps you prevent people from actually entering the weed room itself. And so this second hole over here is going to be beneath the shelf with the Kleenex on it, sort of to the right of it. And you crouch down, same story, you make yourself 3 holes looking a little bit to the left. And if you look through it, you should be able to shoot down the soft wall behind it. And from there, you can defend the balcony and the external wall of the football apartment. A third spot you can do that is a little bit redundant with this spot is going to be underneath the clock here. So you crouch down, you make yourself 3 holes. This looks out into the door leading into the football apartment, across the way to the window looking at yellow stairs, as well as the balcony itself as well. And a small 4th spot you can do is over here to the left. It looks out onto the pink staircase landing, so you just come over to the right side, crouch down, and make yourself 3 quick holes. And this is good for looking over at anyone who might be coming up the stairs, and you should be able to see it while you're holding an angle on the weed room. You can look over and see if anyone's on the stairs. I don't like making this hole prematurely because it does reveal your position while you're in here defending the other peak spots. But if you do know that someone's going to be on the staircase, you just look through and you can shoot them. I particularly like this spot because it's extremely safe to do. Your only point of weakness is going to be from this window over here to the east. But for the most part, you can barricade this door as well as even reinforcing this part of the wall here to prevent being shot through. And so when you do that, you can also ask for a little bit of barbed wire out here on the stairs so that you can tell if someone's coming up from behind. But you can also definitely hear them if they break through these doors or the hatch up here. And if it comes down to it, and you need to, you can always just impact this wall and run through into the site. So the views for this one, from lead room, it looks like this. You can make the holes a little bit, you can make only 2 holes if you want to, and it makes the spot almost invisible. But for the most part, you know, when they come in here and they're looking around to check peaks, they're not going to see this little spot here until they're dead. So the second and third ones are going to be out here. You can see from the wheat stairs. And you look across, and there's a little bullet hole here. And this hole here is a little bit more visible, but you can't actually tell if anyone's watching it because you can't really see the bullet holes until you're here. This spot in Aunt's bedroom has actually been pivotal in a lot of wins that I've pulled off while defending these football objectives. You can sit in here and hold angles, and you basically cut off the lead room as well as a significant portion of the Aunt's area as well. Alright guys, so that's going to be about it for the first week of Bullet Hole Peaks. Favela's has a ton of different options you can do from, including ones I haven't actually shown you. Some of them like shooting a hole in this wall here to hold an angle on the lead room door. This one's pretty dangerous though because there's no real escape routes. But in general, I think that these bullet holes are actually super impactful when you're playing on Favela's because it does provide the defenders with an extra set of tools that they can use to pull off their wins on a map that's already extremely attacker-sided. So, you know, if you're able to squeeze out an extra kill while spawn peeking, and then you come over here and you're able to squeeze out just one more kill while holding down the Aunt's bedroom, you've got a 3v5, and from there you should be able to win that round easily. But so I hope you guys liked what you saw, and you enjoyed all the information I was able to provide. And so if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe or you know, look out for me on Reddit. Next week I'm going to be doing a new map every week, and next week I'll be starting the competitive set of maps, things like Canal and Coastline and Oregon and stuff like that, so that we can start looking at some of the more widely accepted as healthy maps. But anyways guys, see you next week.